All right. Hello. Um, it seems to be working relatively. Right. Need to do one more thing, and I'll be here. All right. Think everything's ready. Yeah. All right. Okay. Nice. Hi. Hello, Paradise. Welcome to the stream. Mm, okay, there we go. So welcome back to Argentina. Um, yeah, pretty much what has been done last time is the thing that's here as well. Been a month essentially. I took the Christmas time off from building. So yeah, we have the farm finished, which is good, very nice. We know the industry works. Tested that. We've done some more of the scenery up until basically here. So I see you do have fields on your trains, man. Very fashionable. Ah, yes, of course. How like what other way would you make a route, you know? Like, you need to have fields. Anyways, I was thinking quite heavily on how I would like to continue with this project, right? Because I don't want to just repeat this this field work just continuously for the next 50 kilometers. So I was kind of thinking of scaling up the fields. There's gonna be a lot of the bigger ones. So you're gonna have one field for a kilometer or a kilometer and a half, you know, relatively long. And then you're gonna have a line of trees and then another field. So I was thinking of dividing it up a little, giving it a bit of a different approach. So I think that's what I'm gonna be focusing on. And also I was thinking of having some forests here and there, especially in this area, because this is more of a hilly part of the network, or part of the route in here around the junction. So I was thinking, rather than fields, that I would do something with trees over here. So I'm gonna do that. Been some time, a little bit of a refresh on what we have finished. So nothing new in the chat. So I say let's get to it. Now let's see if I've forgotten how to work with um with Survey 0.0, which probably I did. um Kinda. Not really. Okay. Okay. Natural, that's the one. I think it was 5 meters. Yes, okay. Starting to remember. Mm-hmm. But and No. Okay, there we go. Okay, nice. Now we're talking. We have a Kengo in chat. Hi there. Hello, Kengo. Restreaming my third route. I tried running OBS with TRS22 and it's not gonna work with Rubber, which I do need to use for route building. So that will have to wait until I have my new computer. For example, without OBS open, it runs fine. Hmm. Since I can actually make that out, and I will share lots of screenshots. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, it probably doesn't surprise you that some people have been seriously thinking of just gifting you a computer at this point. As specifically either Windows or Linux one. Because we all know that will just make your life a lot easier. And like generally what people have pretty much always been talking about or like agreeing on is that it like for you guys it would be best to have one PC that's a Mac where you can do your game projects and your other administrative things that you guys take care of and stuff, and then have a Windows or a Linux PC where you play and stream. And generally, that sounds like what? Okay. Okay. But generally, that sounds like the best option as well for you to do. But yeah, there's also been some people thinking about just giving you a computer as well, or just giving you the money for it. It wouldn't be the first time either, actually. I'm not gonna reveal names, of course. But be aware that there are people who would be able to do that. That is few to hear. So at least I can actually make that out. Well, oh yeah, I've read that. A new Mac will have access to Apple's own porting solution, which supports DX12, for example. So a lot more Windows software should work a lot better. Yeah, that's wonderful it supports DX12. Unfortunately, it's gonna still be some years before games support DX12 as well. You mainly need something that can support DX11 for the most part, especially for trains. I'm not really sure like how it works with these DXs and like how compatible they are between each other and things. But yeah. We all need to be honest with the fact that trains runs like absolute garbage. And so you kinda need to treat it like that as well. Okay, I'm gonna make this one go straight on. Like this. Something supports JS12 is it really it is it really likely that it doesn't support JS11? Don't know how that works myself. Well, as far as I know, usually once you have a version of DX installed, when you're installing something new that was made with the older versions in mind, usually on Windows at least, you get a prompt to download and install the older versions as well, so that the game can run properly with that. As far as I understand, that is necessary. Like it needs the older versions. At least that's the way I understand it. But at the same time, I'm not a developer or programmer or so I wouldn't know properly, right? I'm just putting my 2 cents on the line. Yeah, neither do I. Well, I assume it would be backwards compatible since it's meant mainly for software game devs. Anyway, I'll see what sort of income the MVR will generate on NTB once NTB have finally reviewed it. Yes, I've seen that in the past. Yeah, fair enough. Prompts to install specific DX versions. Yeah. Well, you'll see, Sharadize. I mean, essentially, like, if your route, for example, makes $1,000, I think it wouldn't be that big of a problem for some people to chime in with like 200, 300 more to you, so that you can get just that little bit of a better spec as well. And also, just generally speaking about the fact that a PC is cheaper than a Mac as well. So yeah, we'll see, of course, everything how it goes, and you'll see, especially, how things turn out. Just pretty much saying that it's an option as well. Alright, we have some square fills here and there. I like that the view of this. I'm gonna start a new line across here. There and there. So yeah, I would like to have this square be a forest. This here uh, be half forest, half field. Maybe I'll see. Maybe I'll divide it up again a bit more. But yeah, this here could work as a forest as well. And this one could have forest around the tracks and in this corner. And then a field over in the rest of the area. Yeah, let's see. Do at an angle of like 60. Let's see what that does. Where does that go? Okay, that looks relatively okay. Gonna do 90 over here, like this. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring it to the end there. Continue this line out like that. I'll start a new line here. Like that. I'll cut it across. That means I'll have a forest in this little corner here. And a bit more along the tracks as well, so that I can keep a bit more like the unique style to it and stuff like that. Alright, so the general idea of the field's work is here. Let's read the chat again. Also, I'm glad y'all liked my Walls of Text comic thingy on Discord. Yeah, yeah. I mainly messaged the to keep posting the Walls of Text because it's a unique way for you to express. Like I've noticed that about you. And so when Cleve was like, "Stop it," I kind of like I kind of thought it was a little rude of him to say. So I was like, "No, continue," you know. Well, I don't usually pay much attention to uh, what's generally written in long messages. In general, just not just like from you or like just generally, like I tend to skip long messages, but I've noticed like that you like to express yourself in that way. So I'm just like, why stop? Just keep going. And yeah, that comic was absolutely amazing. I had the idea that you knew how to draw such stuff, but I've actually never seen anything like that of you drawing stuff like that. I've got the idea of you knowing how to draw stuff like that when we played that online game where you have to draw stuff. So I was like, okay, yeah, he definitely knows how to draw, you know. I don't know why I've never really like thought that hey, this like you can do that, but yeah, you can. So yeah, I found it really cool. Alright, this will need a lot of manual fixing and stuff because there's a lot of floating grass in here because obviously of the terrain. So I'm gonna get back to this later on. Let me read more of the chat. Well, certain people and I will see. Speaking of seeing, I made a big hill. The tracks going up it, then I added forest, and now you cannot see the hill anymore. Well, the line is straight, so you can see the grade change from top and bottom. Fair enough. Oh, thank you. Do realize that it has its upsides and downsides. Nah, it's okay. Everyone has preferences and stuff, and don't think about it too much. Oh yeah, Kango's very good at drawing. Scribble, yeah. I have got over 12 A5 pads full of drawings. Started filling the first one in 2018. They're all on paper though, but I've never really shared them before. By the way, for the third era project... Oh, hold on. If you have a printer with a scanner, you can just scan them on or just take it to a printer shop to have them scanned and put on a USB if you want, or just take a picture of it with your phone or camera. Because it would be quite interesting to see some of your comics now that you mentioned them. Okay, that's all good. Right, I think yeah. Let's just take care of this part here. Okay, I'm just gonna have to delete all of the bushes and stuff like that because everything is laid over here with the grasses and bushes, just objects. So generally, I'm just gonna delete all of this. I'm gonna relay it down with some manual work here. Take apart this entire hillside, trackside thingy. I'm gonna keep the splines in because that's relatively useful here. Gives me an idea of like how tall some of them are and what I could possibly make with them. Actually, can I just... I think I should be able to actually just delete the grass themselves over around here a little bit. Okay, a little bit. Not the best, but it works. Trying to hit the correct hitbox. It's always fun. But it's okay, it's something that you can just really easily fix up again as well. But same time, just removing a few bushes here and there doesn't hurt at all. So I'm gonna bring it down here, that's good enough. I'm gonna redo the grass in this area manually along the tracks and pretty much just when I will be doing the forest here. By the way, for the third area project, I've decided to do a different and more flexible layout that I can add to and remove from as needed. If you like, I can DM you an image of that scenery I've already built. Yeah, sure. Um, if you also want, I can show it on stream. It's up to you. But for the third area project, oh wait, I've read that. But yeah, I would be interested to see what you've built so far, and I'm interested also in the way that you said that you decided to make it more flexible, which piques my interest in like how are you going to approach that generally, you know. But I have got a good few and we'll need to edit those too. And I say sooner because I will do things like AWS object stations details later in press passes. Alright, yeah, fair enough. Most of vehicles and characters. Most of the fictional ones too. I did also make comics, but that was many years ago. For the past 6 years, it's mostly just been one-page illustrations of fictional vehicles. Sometimes also concept art for my game sketches. Okay, I see. That's nice. I did take pictures of some of them with a phone. We'll need to downsize and crop them still, though. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, go on. You can show it if you like. All right. Fill boundaries look good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's just squares and some diagonals here and there. I want to make it a bit more uniquely shaped as well, but you know, kind of annoying to just do fields for kilometers on end. So I'm trying to just make it more fun for me to build, and as a result, it's gonna also be more fun to drive through in the end as well. But yeah, I'm probably gonna focus on this area the most on this stream. But let me see. I'm gonna open this Chrome. The top third is gonna be city. The rest is countryside. And the bottom will have a coastline with a little stub line running along the estuary. As I said, the map will likely be expanded, cut changes as needed when I get there. Alright, let's see the map. Is this the button? Yes, that was the button. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I see where you've probably taken some inspiration from as well when it comes to generally the network area. Um, There's gonna be the top third-ish is gonna be city. The rest is countryside. Bottom of coastline with little stubble and an estuary. Okay. Alright, alright. So what does the green mean? Is that is where you already worked on, or is that like where you want where you know you want the forest to be like, for example? I don't know. More flexible in that I've built a section and feel that it could use another junction station branch. I can just add that. And if I'm building an area and I'm running out of time for it, I can take bits out and make the line margin at another place. Alright, yeah, fair enough. That's an interesting approach. Inspiration, whatever do you mean? Green is the scene that I've already finished pretty much. Oh, okay. That's surprisingly a lot. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, generally when I look at this, like the way I see, like my brain kind of like substitutes the different areas of like what I usually like, to Southern England network. So what I essentially see over here is that down here you have Brighton with the Preston Park Triangle Junction, right? Over here you have over here on the left side. I would use my mouse button to activate the move around feature, but my mouse button is broken. Middle mouse button is broken, so um, unfortunately I have to use the slides. But yeah, okay. And this here is like the Portsmouth, and then just a connection between Brighton and Portsmouth kind of thing. That runs along the coast as well. Then this junction here. Generally, the shape more reminds me of Red Hill area with Raygate just out of here, and trucks going right and to the left. But obviously, it's like it's a completely differently shaped junction. So when I look at this middle point here, I think more of like a merge of Red Hill and Three Bridges, So I can imagine you putting some kind of depot or yard for rolling stock in this area. hmm Yeah, this down here definitely reminds me of the stretch between Purley and East Croydon. The junction to the right and pretty much like the Brighton main line continuing to the left a bit. So that reminds me up here of East Croydon, down here of Purley, where additional lines meet in with the main line. This here generally on the right side, it doesn't really remind me of like stuff that much. But generally, this triangle here on the right, I would more attribute to Denmark Hill, Herne Hill, or Elephant and Castle area kind of junction. And here, this middle point, this main stretch is pretty much just Clapham Junction, and up here being Victoria. Like that, so like when I look at this, knowing how the South London network, how it looks like, what drives where and how, this is like what it reminds me of. Is that what you've been going for? Is there a detailing that I will do in passes later? There you go. That's a very interesting take. Some bits are pretty much what I planned, other bits very much not. Interesting. We put an airport or two on the map. We already have an airport on the map of Argentina, but I would like to maybe have a second airport somewhere because I really want to flesh out the plane network, right? I kind of want it to actually function. Mistake, sorry. Oh, Paradise, I see. That's what you meant. Yeah, it would be interesting to have like equivalent of maybe like Gatwick Airport or Heathrow or I don't know, something like that. But most likely a reiteration of Gatwick Airport somewhere down here. Um, Probably would fit quite well at this junction here that I said is a merge of Red Hill and Three Bridges, because there's Gatwick Airport in between those stations, so it could probably fit here. It looks like it's a bit of like a main-ish connection, you know, it's like directly in the middle of the main line as well. It at least looks like that, you know. So that like looks like a prime thing for like an airport further out of the city. Alternatively, you can also have an airport anywhere else, of course, because really it's, I mean, yeah. But yeah, that like, yeah, generally like what I've said is like what your map reminds me of, kind of thing. There will be a big terminus at the end of that big triangle in the north. Okay, I see, I see. Also, here's a drawing I did back in May 2023 of a fictional Russian-inspired article that tractor also shows stream. Alright, will do. That central junction is on top of a really big hill, so probably no airport there. Ah, okay, so it really is Red Hill. Okay. But yeah, the way you describe that you want a big terminus here is pretty much like, oh hey, this straight line going to the right diagonally is like, oh hey, that's the Waterloo line, and then up here you have London Victoria. You can have London Bridge here on the absolute right, you know, with Charing Cross or Canal Street down below it, because why not? Is frankly, it's brilliant. I like this map. It's an interesting way to do the network here as well, because I've noticed like here, you're branching off to the left and you're basically doing a U-turn to go back down again. Which means the station here in the middle does not have a connection to the terminus. It's an interesting way of doing this, you know? But yeah, I like it. Oh yeah, this definitely looks like Clapham because I can kind of see what you were doing here with the lines, just branching off to the right and then going under the main line that goes straight into the terminus. Pretty much what the tracks do when going from Clapham Junction to Victoria, but instead of down, they go over the main line. You'd call it Lime Hill instead, maybe? Green Hill. Oh yeah, okay, go. This is nice. Yeah, I can definitely see the inspiration of that. Yeah, that is really good. 29th of May 2023. 1730. Mm. Yeah, it's neat. Alright. Back to trains. Yeah, but that was unintentional. Yeah, I see. Absolutely. But yeah, I can kind of see like where your brain was kind of getting like, oh, hey, this would be nice. And then your just subconscious is just like just putting real life representations into your brain and be like, oh, he will like this. Let's do this, you know? Oh man. All right. Um. So we've done that. I'm gonna clone the trees here probably. Also have some bushes as well. So I'm just gonna take this part. Without textures, yes. Now I would like to have these trees along here in this area down there, and I'm gonna fill up this side too. Now the thing is about here is I would like to just paste it in next to the track so that I don't have to remove the trees later on. Save me some time. It's gonna leave quite of a kind of bigger gap there between the tracks and the trees here, and I'm not sure if I like that. I mean, it could work actually on that side. I'll still have to remove some grass because of the hill, but that's okay. Gonna do this and fill this up with trees pretty much this entire um, sideline here. Maybe a bit of expanding there. I'm gonna keep this open. Yes, I want the corner of the fields to be here, just at the edge, and then go inside again. Actually, you know what? Because over here I wanted forest to be on both sides, so I'm just gonna fill it in till the edge here. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna cover it completely. Fuck it. It's gonna make things easier. It's gonna be annoying to remove all of those and move them, but whatever. Alright, so up to there pretty much. Here I would like to have fields again. But I know I want trees in this little triangle here. I am gonna do that, just like that. Yes, field texture 103 again. I'm really looking forward to repainting your 4652 once it's done. Does S2 also have an erase brush? No, but I mean, you can still undo. But there isn't really an erase. Alright, I'm just gonna fill this up like that. Okay. So, now we uncover the tracks. Unravel the tracks here. I want this side of the forest to not exist, so I'm just gonna delete that. Nice and easy like this. Hold on. I'll be right back. Need to attend to something. Alright, ladies, I'm back. Like a scrapbook with nothing in it. I was thinking about that as well, but doesn't function properly. Like, for definitely still faster. Don't get me wrong, and it is possible, with Survey Classic and Survey 2.0, just empty scrapbook or empty copy paste. It is possible, but at the same time, it's still a square, right? So you still need to adapt to that as well. With when you're deleting stuff manually, like I am, you get like a little bit of more control over it as well, because you can decide like, oh hey, I want this to be gone, you know. So if you have a smaller area, then it might work better for you to remove it manually like this, because it might not be lining up with the grid, which both scrapbook and uh, copy paste tool use. So generally, it's better for me to do it like this, especially now because in some places maybe I want to have the trees a little bit further out, but I want to keep the bushes, or maybe I just want to keep the trees very close, push some bushes out, that kind of stuff. I feel like it gives me more control over what I'm doing, so I prefer it this way. But if needed, I will do it with copy paste as well. Somewhere over there. Oh, it's all the way over here that the thingy exists. Okay. I'm just gonna cut this line here through here to make this a bit more coherent for me, easier. Actually thinking about it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like that. Just a little bit of a forest outcrop here. At the same time, I want to get rid of the bushes, but I don't really want to get rid of the grass that's below the tracks as well. Doing a copy paste here would get rid of both. You see here I'm keeping some of the bushes a bit closer because I think it looks better. Sometimes I just move stuff instead as well because I want to like preserve some areas, kind of enhance them. I think it works better like this. Here the terrain is relatively low, close to the tracks, so I'm gonna get rid of the grass as well. Push it to the side a bit more. But yeah, that looks good already. You can also see that I'm wanting to keep some of the trees a bit closer to the tracks. Especially here, the copy paste would not work, you know, because it being bound to a grid, it would just fuck up this feeling, you know, that this area completely. Oh hey, that's a train. We've got here now. Right, I'm gonna get rid of this. Now here, the tool might be a bit more useful to actually remove some more stuff. But the thing is, I would still like to keep the bushes in here, right? And the trees as well. So I'm just gonna carefully navigate around. Hey, maybe occasionally I'll delete a tree here and there, maybe a bush here and there. But I'm generally just aiming for the grass in here. Because I think everything else here fits nicely. So the wood function as an eraser. Great. Maybe you could do that then? Sounds a bunch easier than the classic approach. I see, without the There are already 2 Easter eggs on the territory route, by the way. Oh boy, fun. How many have I found so far? 1. Maybe removing a bit more grass here and there, because it's getting hilly here, which means there's more floaty stuff. Yeah, look at that, that's disgusting. No floaty here. That's a tree, I did not want to delete the tree, I wanted to delete the grass. Mow the grass. The grass Tyson. Here as well, it could benefit from being deleted and cleaned up. Nope. Some of them might be a bit more tricky to hit. But yeah, talking about trains news as well, let's delve into that. Central Europe Mini has been ported into Multiplayer Surveyor. Wow, yeah, I know, right? I don't exactly sound excited, do I? I was excited for a bit after it happened. Essentially, it was like, fuck yeah, you know, hey, we can have this game in the next Trains release, in the next Trains game, you know. And while that would still be nice, multiplayer surveyor is absolutely not the way to do this. It's been in development for what? 4 years now? It runs like garbage. Some people from like who have beta tested it say that some of the bugs still persist. On top of that, the performance just drops massively if you don't have a super beefy PC. Even I struggle to run um, the game properly from time to time. The internet lag was unbearable. I have wonderful connection. I have a fucking gigabyte connection essentially. So I have very high speeds. The amount of high latency messages and issues that I've gotten there, just no. Frankly, I would say that Multiplayer Surveyor is still not a finished product and definitely not worth the money. Even after 4 years of development. So yeah, we kind of gave up on the fact of trying to make Century Rob Mini better in the MPS, because it just simply wasn't working out in any way. And then the route file as well just got corrupted. Because why not? Still have pictures of that. Technically speaking, I think I could just hop on there and just show you guys. I think I'm gonna do that towards the end of the stream. But yeah, generally it was not a pleasant experience working with MPS or in it. The concept and idea is good. The execution is absolutely terrible. And I would wish that the incredible amount of money that I pay for trains would actually go to the development, but frankly, I'm starting to believe it does not. Because over the last few years, like they've been coming up with these amazing ideas for this and that, but none of them are finished. Even Surveyor 2.0 is still not properly implemented completely, still missing some very fundamental features. They wanted to replace Surveyor Classic, which honestly, no, thank you. That's gonna be a suicide, honestly. Then now they are recently talking about completely just removing multiplayer turf effects and clutter and just like redoing it from scratch, like you know, it's just just a complete new pile every year of techno bullshit that they never actually finish and polish, you know. Alright, it looks good. Still this line here that I need to clear out. Let's read the chat. No floaty floaty here. No floaty floaty here. Do you reckon you'll also come up with a fictional country name for your route is set in? Like Colvarkshire or Summit? Probably Lily? Yeah, fair enough. Just like me and Brent, we just did with London instead of London in the fictional country of I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, we just took real names and just changed something in them to make it funnier. Like for example, there's this station called Queen's Road or Queen's Bridge, something, you know. Um, and We named, or Brand named, a station on his fictional London Underground map Queen's Station as well, but instead of using Q, instead of writing, the Queen with normal just QEE, or QEE, Queen, he decided to do it with KB, as in Queen. So yeah, this kind of like small changes to maybe make it just a little bit comical, or stuff like that. Also, yeah, hello Hans, welcome. Nice thought. It's been welcome. It's been a while. Tried uploading a DLC route to MPS a few months ago because the route didn't have a regular multiplayer session. The route ended up broken and unplayable. Yep, fair enough. Doesn't surprise me though. Or culture, I suppose. Yikes, I'm sorry to hear that. I agree, MPS is cool as a concept, but it's currently not ready to be played. I think a good way to improve MPS would be for Entrev to publish the server software so everyone can host their own MPS servers. Yes, and not have it depend on TCCP packages that 90% of the time fail being created for no fucking reason whatsoever, simply because the package creator itself fucks up. So, it will help with lag and reduce cost for Entrev. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Hans, while you're here, planning on having a 1 hour miscellaneous stream tomorrow at 11 p.m. your time, trying out some of Discord's new voice activity games. Feel free to come along too if you'd like. Oh yeah, that's right. Discord has that as well. Let me just like really check this. Garlic Phone, Chef Showdown, Watch Together, YouTube. It unfortunately doesn't get rid of ads, so it's still better to just screen share your Google with AdBlock than actually watching together. Crunker Strike, oh boy. Colonies, Chess in the Park, Poker, Put Party, Whiteboard, Glazing Aids. I know what I mean. What the fuck? Okay. Land.io, Bubble League, Sketch Heads, Color Together, Spellcast, Letter League, Checkers in the Park, Bubble Bash. That's very interesting activities. I actually might hop in as well. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Sounds interesting. I'll see. I'll see it. Um, a lot of I currently have to get up at 4:30 in the morning so I can stay up that long. By the way, people are still having connect emulating issues for the MC server, and performance still isn't ideal. So we've decided to get rid of dynamic trees. I know that you've offered to reset the world and copy over the chunks that contain people's bases. But since you're not playing LCA with us anymore at the moment, I don't know if you're still up for doing that. If not, that's totally acceptable. I would ask that you please point me in the direction of documentation tutorial so that I can do it myself. Greater London, Lesser London, that kind of thing? Yes. Thinking of calling the county Sudur, or maybe Saudor or something. Just rip off some existing fictional countries. Glory to our yes. Maybe Solvarcher. Alright, would 1 hour earlier work better? 19 year time. Papier bitte. But yeah, I think I will be streaming this kind of times later, you know, by an hour for the near future, as I have some stuff to attend to before and after. But I'll see generally about streaming. I'll still be pretty much just I'll still be setting out the notification that hey, I'm live or stream in this amount of time, you know. But expect it to be a lot more varied. And less consistent. I do not have the means to get into full streaming production yet, but hopefully soon in the future I will. Okay, it's cleared out. Let's get rid of some of the grass that's below the tracks here, just to make it a bit nicer, better to drive through and stuff. Don't really mind the grass too much being in the tracks, but yeah. Alright, that looks quite nice. Yeah, I like this train here already pretty much giving us a sense of scale and how it looks, generally speaking anyway, so that's very nice. Maybe depends on how tired I am after work tomorrow. You and I are currently doing very similar things in trains. Alright, so we have the trackside pretty much done. Now I'm gonna go over and copy a bit of the emptier forest preset that I have somewhere around for lag issues and stuff like that. Yeah, this one here. I'm just gonna be pasting this in. Less trees, less vegetation to care about for the game to render and stuff like that, so definitely improve the performance. Once I paste all of this in, I'm gonna delete through bulk replace some of the bushes that are hiding here in the middle of the forest, because you're not gonna be seeing that from the train and it doesn't have to be there, it doesn't need to exist. So I'll go ahead and just remove that. It's just unnecessary resources taken away, you know. Gonna do that. I'm gonna cut the line through here where it's supposed to be. Thinking about it, I'm just gonna firstly check whether I actually don't have a emptier preset in the first place to copy paste. I still need to do the fills here. Gosh darn it. Oh man. No, there's a lot of stuff there everywhere. Oh, this one here might be better. Oh yeah, this is just trees. I like that. Just gonna take the. I'm gonna yoink you. And I'm just gonna copy paste it here in the middle. Like this, just to get rid of the bushes and the grass that doesn't need to exist, because it's gonna be better that way. Less lag and better performance, generally speaking, you know. So yeah, just turn it up to there. There we go. Better. It's also very nice as well. Yeah, I like this. It also gives it a bit of a sense of transition, because down this way it's gonna be less fields and more forests. At least that's what I would like. And down this way it's gonna be continuing with the fields, but I want to have a town here as well where the tracks straighten out. So I'll have to get to that as well eventually. Also, do you increase the scale of forest crabgrasses for more distant woods? In what sense do you mean? I mean, you pretty much just saw me do this. I don't necessarily like increase the radius or something, but basically what I do is when it comes to forests, I place down basically like two presets, so to say. It also depends on the approach, but like generally, like most of the time, what I end up doing is placing the bushes and the grass, then the trees on top, and then just copying that over. Um, what I then do afterwards is that I just copy and paste an entire area, fill up an entire forest with the full detail stuff, and then I take the bulk replace tool. I add the grasses and the bushes that I used in the forest, and I select an area of the forest to just remove it from, right? Then I look at it, and I kind of like try to size it up in a way like, okay, you cannot see those bushes anyways, you cannot see the grass, so I can remove it from here, you know? But you can still see the trees, right? So here, for example, if you look at this, this is a pretty terrible job for what I usually do. But if you look at this here, right, up close, you have bushes, you have grass, you have all the detail. If you go further out, none of it is here. And you may also notice that over here, the trees are generally more closer together, there's more of them. And further out, there's less of them, they're more spaced out. It still gives the feeling that it's a dense forest, and it takes so much little, like less resources, a lot less resources than if you kept the density and the detail and stuff like that. That kind of thing. Over here actually as well is could be a good example. Like up close, you have bushes, you have grass, quite trees on top of each other. And then if you move out a little bit, there's less grass. There's quite a lot of spline grass here though, so it kind of gives a bad illusion, or better illusion. But yeah, there's less object grass, less bushes. In some places I've put a lot less trees as well. There's actually quite a lot less trees here. What the fuck? Or you can just space them out a little bit differently. It's still the same amount of trees as there was before, but they look much more spread out now. Much denser. Because quite often when you're just copy pasting stuff, you end up with trees being on top of each other too much. So it kind of ruins the effect and makes it look like, oh hey, it's so much more denser here than here. It's kind of realistic as well, but at the same time, it kind of it fucks the performance a little bit because it has to generate some additional shadows, and the fact that it's clipping through each other, you may notice that, and you can see the outer border wall of the layout, the 2D wall, the background here. It's a complicated thing of trying to get things right, but once you do, it's wonderful. And a lot of the times you don't even have to come back and revisit an area because well, you just don't. You know, it fits, it works, it's good. You know, here I had to revisit this. I've noticed that, oh hey, you can see the background for way too much. You know, as you're going through here. So I want to space it out a little bit so it's not as noticeable that hey, the forest just ends with a 2D background. And generally, if you are doing this kind of like massive forest, I highly recommend you going with a background like this. It saves so much resources. Try to keep all of the 3D stuff like within the borders that you set yourself as well. But yeah, it saves so much resources, it can end up looking even better, you know. But really, only do this if you have like a flat map, or you know, very it's not noticeable either from up close or from a distance that oh hey, there's just a border, you know. So if you have mountains or hills in the distance or close to the tracks, I recommend doing full on 3D trees, you know, just properly making the forest like this. But in case that you have a bit of like flatland like I have, there's no need for any of this to be filled out, you know. So just do it like this. You look at this and you think, okay, I'm in a forest, you know. You don't see outside that hey, the trees don't continue. Like for some places, you could even get rid of the 2D background completely, you know, because you cannot see through the trees anyways, you know. So really, there's a lot of different approaches and different ways that you can do all of this. So yeah, stuff like that, you know. So yeah. Anyways, I'm also gonna be keeping the streams a bit shorter than usual. So yeah, I'll save that up. Now read the chat. You know, also I've added a hotkey for the context menu of spacebar in addition to T. Scale is in scrapbook object density. Yeah, I don't know. I don't use scrapbooks. Like I only use the one that I've pre-made with the bush line that I've used to separate the fuse, but I have not used the scrapbook density thingy at all ever. So I mean when you should scale as in scrapbook. I mean when I draw on forest, I put the scale up to 135% or 150 for distant woods. For close, I leave it at 150. I mean radius, I mean scale. Yeah, I see. Okay. Just the scale with the scrapbook spreads the assets further apart. In addition to the scale things, I also have two separate wood scrapbook assets. One has bushes and undergrowth between the trees, the other does not. Personally, I don't like the small corridor with trees, and this plan approach looks good from the cab but ruins the aerial view of the scene. Yeah, it also depends on if you want your route to be played from cab or air or the outside view. Generally, what I aim for with my routes is for a cab experience rather than outside. So I always rather aim for the cab scenery to be good. This is for cities, but usually not for woods anymore. You catch my message about Minecraft. I did. I'll send you what I can find later. Thank you indeed. Okay. Not that sure if it work out. I know that it is possible in vanilla, but might not work with modded worlds. Yeah, but my modern maps tend to be very hilly and mountainous, so I can't really do the corridor approach anyway. Fair enough. They'll also be painting mud textures onto the swampy area. Yeah, I'll get to some textures later on as well. I mean, generally, I would like to paint some different texture in the forests generally. So that's also a thing. Back when I made my Yarton route on the DLS, I used this approach a lot. Yeah, I remember. Oh, the scrapbook scale, which was very useful. I use the scrapbook all the time now. mm. Yeah, everyone to their preferences. I still like the older way of doing things. I feel most comfortable with it. I'm definitely open to learning the new approach, the new editor as well. But some things I just prefer to do manually anyway. So yeah, fun stuff. So anyways, thank you everyone for joining me here today for a bit of a shorter stream. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Follow, subscribe, all the stuff, you know. Have a wonderful day, morning, night, afternoon, evening, whatever, whenever, wherever you are. I'm gonna read the chat one last time. The paint under selection is also very useful. Oh, I think it's also very useful, but I find it annoying that it paints such a wide strip, anyways, of the texture. You know, I wish you could control that better. Oh yeah, because it has its uses too. Alright, enjoyed a lot. Oh yeah, it was fun. It's great to be back. Bye bye. Yep, have a very nice evening too. It's the radius. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to explore it more, but yes, you know. So anyways, thank you everyone, and bye. You changed the width of what it paints with the radius setting. Wonderful. I wish it was more intuitive. Anyway, see ya.